with Coldwell Banker Residential Real Estate, and back again today with another informative video for you. 7 factors that make up a great offer and what to look for. This way, when you got your home listed and you do get an offer, you know what to look for as far as what would be a strong offer or a weak offer, or points that are weak or strong. And I got 7 of them right here for you, so let's dig into them. The first one, and it may be obvious, is price. You want to have keep in mind where you are positioned in the market, meaning are you above the market value, below, at the market value? Where are you located with your list price? And this plays a role because someone may come in just below market value, but you may be priced well above market value, and there'll be a huge discrepancy in the offer price and the list price, when meanwhile these people are just hovering right around where the market is. So the offer really is not bad. Okay, so you want to keep in mind where you're positioned, and you want to get an offer that is at, just below, or just above, very close to what the market value is, with the exception if you have a bunch of upgrades. Then obviously you would want an offer that is a little bit above the current market value for like homes in the area. The next point would be the deposit amount. Now, the deposit is a real factor in seeing if the person or the entity is serious about buying your property. You want to shoot for minimum 5% of the sale price to up to 20% plus of the sale price as far as a deposit, to make it a little more solid. I've done some deals where people come in, they're buying a $600,000 house, and they're trying to put down $25,000 or $5,000, and that just does not give the seller a sense that the person's real serious about buying the property. Now, it's okay if they want to put down $2,500 or $5,000 in the initial deposit. Then they can come back after they do their inspections and their due diligence, and they can put a larger deposit down. And at that point, it becomes a lot more serious because there's really no more outs unless there is a finance contingency that is outstanding. So a bigger deposit shows they're more serious, makes it a stronger offer. On the closing date now, that's the, point number 3. 30 to 45 days is about standard for a closing. You get some people that want to push out 60, 90, and more than that. And that's not always the best course of action for you as a seller. You obviously got the home listed because you want to sell it, move on to the next phase of your life. And that does not allow you to do that. And also, you're not going to get a lot of showings in that time while it is sitting there contingent. And you could be missing out on other buyers, maybe better offers, maybe no contingency offers or cash offers, higher price, you never know. So you don't want to be sitting 60 to 90 days on the market waiting for someone to get their ducks in a row to close. So 30 days or less is really strong, but 30 to 45 days is about the norm. So that's what you want to look for as far as a closing date. Moving on to point number 4, cash or finance. So cash obviously is always the cleanest transaction, but unfortunately it's not always the best mode of operation for some people, as they just cannot afford to put down $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, or $600,000 in a real estate transaction, so they will need to do a finance deal. And you can do finance deals, that's no problem. We do them all the time. But you do want to have at least a pre-approval letter that says, hey, we went to the bank. Most likely we're going to be able to get this loan and move forward with the property. That would put your mind a little more at ease that they got the ball rolling with the bank already, versus someone that comes in and has not done anything yet. Just a note about the pre-approval. That is just what it is. It's a pre-approval. It is not a pre-qualification. That does not mean they're guaranteed to get that loan. It means they have good chances, judging on their credit worthiness, but they still have some more analysis to do, and there's still a potential they don't get the loan. But in most cases, they do get the loan. So obviously, cash is the easiest way to do it. There'll be no appraisals. That's the other thing with finance deals, is that if you are priced above the market and there's a finance deal on the table, your house has to appraise. If it doesn't appraise, the person's not getting the financing and the deal's not getting done. So then basically you're boxed in the corner waiting for a cash buyer to come along. with that money. So another reason why, as I touched on in my previous videos in regards to selecting the right list price, you want to price close to that market as possible, because you're gonna weed out all the finance buyers, and all you're gonna be looking for is a cash buyer, because your home won't appraise for the current market value. Next point number 5, contingencies. You do not want offers that are loaded with contingencies, okay? Now, you're going to have some basic ones like we just spoke about. You're going to have maybe financing, and then we're going to talk about in a minute the inspection period. But you do not want some contingencies like home has to sell, the buyer's home has to sell first before they can close on this property, or sight unseen offers where it's subject to a viewing later on down the road, sometime from the present time, or subject to a partner's approval. All of these are not real solid signs that the person is super serious about buying the house. They're just trying to tie it up for a certain amount of time. And if your goal is to sell that house in the shortest amount of time, that is not in your best interest to sign an offer like that. Another reason for that is that when a house goes into a contingent state, not a lot of realtors show homes that are in contingent states, because it's just a good chance they're not going to get the home, so they don't even waste their time looking at the home. So you're going to cut your showings way down and have your home tied up while all of these contingencies get cleared. So again, financing is quite common. Inspection is very common. I mean, I don't hardly ever see deals get done with no inspection. Sometimes on lots, there won't be a feasibility study or something like that. But if someone does bring you an offer with no inspection, that's super solid. They're ready to go. They don't care. They want that property. So as you can see, some of these things are stacking up. So a shorter inspection period, cash is always great, or at least financing with a pre-approval. Deposit amount, very strong, 5 to 20%, and a price that is at least at market value or very close to there. These are some of the things that you're going to look for to see if the offer is strong and if the buyer is serious. And then the inspection period. Now, usually 10 to 15 days is normal for an inspection period. Now, the shorter the inspection period, the better it is for you, because that's less time for them to get out of the deal with getting their initial escrow money coming back to them. So if they come in with an inspection period that's 40 days or 30 days, you don't want that, because that gives them 40 days to waste your time and get out of the contract. You want as short of an inspection period as possible. Like I said, if they bring you something with no inspection period, that's really strong, less time for stuff to go wrong. They're ready to move right to closing and get the ball rolling. So 10 to 15 days is about normal. Again, if you get less than that, great. You get more than 15 days, you start to get a little weary. And then lastly, number 7, there's an assignment clause within the contract. And some people will put property under contract and have the box checked that they can assign to be removed from liability. In this case, they're probably trying to get the home under contract and take the contract and sell the contract to another entity, which they may not have yet. They may be searching for. These are called wholesale deals. So just because you have a contract on your house with this person doesn't mean they're going to be the one closing on the deal, and they may be searching for another buyer, which is fine. It's just a time thing. I mean, I do wholesale deals, and they work out fine, but if your interest is selling that home very quickly and not dragging it out, this may not be your best mode of operation, because this person may not be the buyer. They may be searching for a buyer, and they may want to assign that contract over to another buyer that would eventually close on your house. So again, it's not a bad deal, but just be aware of that, and it could end up that the deal doesn't get done at all, or it could take a little bit longer. And again, it wastes your time if they don't have a buyer lined up. So you want to make sure the box is checked on there that says contract is not assignable, or it says that it is assignable, but they cannot be released from any further action on the contract. Also, another point on the assignment is that if you look at the top of the contract where the names are, it will say the person's name or company, and it will have the words "and" or "assigns." That's how you know it's an assignment deal, and that would indicate that they're potentially trying to assign the deal. So not always the strongest if they are trying to assign the deal. So in summary, price, deposit, closing date, cash, finance, contingencies, inspection period, and assignment. These are the 7 factors that can stack up to making it a solid offer, or a weak offer. So I hope this was helpful. If you thought it was informative, check out my other videos on my page. Again, I can always be reached at 386-237-0097. Thanks for watching, guys.